Hello, my name is Cassandra Pin from class 5B with M.Hum number 218110002. Today I will tell you about grammatical relations. Grammatical relations. In linguistics, grammatical relations, also called grammatical functions, grammatical roles, or syntactic functions, are functional relationships between constituents in a clause. The standard examples of grammatical functions from traditional grammar are subject, direct object, and indirect object. The grammatical relations are exemplified in traditional grammar by the notions of subject, direct object, and indirect object. For example, Fred gave Susan the book. The subject Fred performs or is the source of the action. The direct object of the book is acted upon by the subject, and the indirect object Susan receives the direct object or otherwise benefits from the action. Traditional grammars often begin with these rather vague notions of the grammatical functions. When one begins to examine the distinctions more closely, it quickly becomes clear that these basic definitions do not provide much more than a loose orientation point. Grammatical relations can be characterized in terms of the meaning they express, in terms of their formal means of expression, and in terms of their syntactic functions. It appears impossible to attribute to grammatical relations a constant fixed meaning and a constant form, whether across languages or within a single language, and the decisive diagnostic role in the identification of grammatical relations is played not by the means of encoding but by syntactic tests. Grammatical categories are assigned to the words and phrases that have the relations. This includes traditional parts of speech like nouns, verbs, adjectives, etc., and features like number and tense. Morphological criteria. Many efforts to define the grammatical relations emphasize the role in inflectional morphology. In English, the subject can or must agree with the finite verb in person and number, and in languages that have morphological case, the subject and object and other verb arguments are identified in terms of the case markers that they bear. Example: nominative, accusative, dative, genitive, ergative, absolutive, etc. Inflectional morphology may be a more reliable means for defining the grammatical relations than the configuration, but its utility can be very limited in many cases. For instance, inflectional morphology is not going to help in languages that lack inflectional morphology almost entirely, such as Mandarin. And even with English, inflectional morphology does not help much, since English largely lacks morphological case. Inflectional morphology differs from derivational morphology or word deformation in that inflection deals with changes made to existing words, and derivation deals with the creation of new words. Both inflection and derivation involve attaching affixes to words, but inflection changes a word's form, maintaining the same word, and derivation changes a word's category, creating a new word. That's all. Thank you for watching.